commemorating events at Maidan on the November 29th. And 30 of 2013, I invite here Dmytro Rutkovskyi, president of NGO Volya Freedom, Serhiy Suchiok, head of the NGO Volya Hromady, revision committee and the art director of Volnytsya patriotic Internet-radio, and Andriy Butkevych, vice president of the NGO Volnytsia. You have the floor, dear colleagues. Good afternoon. My name is Dmytro, Andriy and Serhiy next to me. We came here in order to declare or to announce the event which is going to take place in several days from now, on November the 30th, when Ukraine woke up, rose. With my, let's say, friends and comrades, we represent the NGO Volnytsya, which was set up, and we united against the background of the Maidan events in those days. Actually, we were involved in the public life even before that, but again, if you're talking about the events of Maidan, we came to understand that we were badly needed a kind of patriotic note, and we decided to unite all our friends and all our like-minded persons who stood next to us in the Maidan, and in order to, first of all, not to forget about those events, and because those were very important events in those days, when the young boys and girls who were not indifferent, they came to the Maidan, and that actually their march turned into a very powerful movement, which was very important not only to Ukraine but to the whole of the world. And we sent a very loud message, signal to all the humankind, and not only those events were so critical for everybody, so that the Ukrainian history had changed or was changed for good in the spirit of Maidan, and the sentiments the people experienced in those days, they are being kind of suppressed, let's say, or put into the background because of the ATO situation and some of the socio-economic crisis. So we see our task to remind the people all the time not to forget about those events, and to mark let's say, the days of those events took place. We know that a lot of people were involved. We do not want the people to become disappointed that actually those events are, let's say, put to the oblivion, and we would like to commemorate and to remember all those who were coming those very frosty days in the freezing temperature, and those who were killed, and commemorate the memory of those who were killed, and all those who came there when there because their heart dictated their actions, and there are a lot of examples we could give here about the real deeds and the heroic deeds of the people. So maybe I give the floor at this point of time to Andriy.
Good afternoon. I'm Andriy Butkevych, Vice President of the civil organization Volnytsya and coordinator of the National Association Volya Hromady. Why we have announced this action? Maidan have passed, and people's protests have passed, and in early November 2014, but at night on November 13th, the people were awakened because students were beaten by police forces, and despite the fact that Ukrainians are very patient, but at that moment they felt that they were not going to be patient anymore. Before November 30th, it was Euromaidan, but after November 30, it turned into the Revolution of Dignity. Our commemoration will be of non-political nature. Our objective is not to proclaim political slogans, but to show our respect and commitment to liberty, to Ukrainian spirit, freedom, love, and Ukrainian spirit. And we would like to bring together people, mass media. We plan to bring that iron baskets and to produce fire. That is to restore that atmosphere and commemorate. We invite everybody to come on this night to recollect the events that happened 2 years ago. I would like to say a couple of words about our association, the Will of People. We organize many events for children, patriotic events. Also, I would like to describe our patriotic events on the occasion of November 30th. November 30th will be the first event. The next event will be commemorating the first heroes of Maidan. This will be on January 22nd. Then there will be a special March of Roses on February, in late February, and at that time, we even the last year we organized similar events where we organized ceremonial march around the district with rose petals. I'm Serhiy Suchiok.
First of all, what I would like to say regarding November the 30th today, we have some kind of situation when people actually became disappointed in this revolution, disappointed in themselves, maybe to some extent in their fantasies which they entertained or cherished, but because they didn't have the correct expectations. They expected that following the revolution of dignity, everybody is going to live a better life. We will join Europe immediately and the corruption will be fought down, etc. But this is not true. After the revolution of dignity, we have a huge work to do, each of us. First of all, we have to do something about ourselves, because a powerful country can be born only if there are strong people, strong citizens. Everyone is responsible for his or her own deeds, and they understand what we would like to achieve. More details about what we are going to have on November the 30th. Actually, we are going to take care of the event during the night from Sunday to Monday night, actually late in 29th of November, since midnight to the 7 a.m. What we are going to have during this time? First of all, we are going to have an open microphone, accessible to everyone. We are not going to talk about the politics, as has been mentioned. We are going to talk about those things which actually brought about the Maidan as per se, what this Maidan meant for each of us, and we are going to talk about that during that night. Then this will be followed by some video films. We are going to try to remember about that. We are going to have the recitals, kind of patriotic verses will sound from the stage, which were written during the Maidan events. Following the Maidan, And a lot of verses are being created, the patriotic lyrics, during the ATO operation. Every hour we are going to perform the hymn, the anthem of Ukraine. If you remember, during Maidan, this was the case that every the hour they were standing up, the people were standing up and singing the anthem of Ukraine, just to remind all of us that we are all Ukrainians, Ukrainian belong to Ukrainian nation, and we belong to this land, and we have to be grateful for that fact of life. And we are going to crown our event by a chain of unification and strength. When we are going to give and we are going to join the yellow and blue ribbons in one chain, and we are going to hold this chain, and together with the small bells which symbolize the freedom and cleaning, we are going to go from the stela to the St. Michael's Cathedral. You understand why St. Michael's Cathedral? Because they provided the, let's say, the resort to all the students who were fleeing from the police. And this is kind of would be the logical completion or our event. If you have any questions, I'm ready to answer those. Okay, any questions, please raise your hands. And while my colleagues are thinking about the questions, I have a clarification, maybe addressed to all the speakers. We understand this is going to happen since midnight on 29th till 7 a.m. on the 30th of November. Could you tell us, is this going to be just one event near the stela, or there will be some other organizations who will take care of something similar to that? And how are you going to inform the public at large about those events or functions? There is a person who is responsible for the coordination of this specific event. We wrote a letter, we sent it to the city council, and we'll try to make sure we know about some other similar actions. So far, we did not receive or have not received any, let's say, anything which would say that we should not do that. Last year we actually organized a similar event, and then we unite. Also, there was another night of memory organized by Ruslan, but she provided this year a bit early in a different musical format. Again, a small question, one more small question. Those people, those students who were in the Maidan 2 years ago, some of them still are in Kiev. Did you plan to invite someone of that group, because this is directly related to themselves, We invite all our friends, those who we cooperate in different other functions or events to participate in this specific night gathering, but also we invited some of the people who were on the Maidan that night, because everybody says students, but not only students were present there in the event that night. Thank you. Other questions, please raise your hands and introduce yourselves.
It's Maria, UCMC. Thank you for the initiative. It's very pleasant to have such an initiative to commemorate. My question, whether you were thinking about security measures, because there is always a possibility that somebody may wish to spoil the event. This is not the first event that we are organizing on Maidan or near the Monument of Independence, and quite often we invite our friends from different security organization or volunteer guards, even like right sector, like the guards association, etc. Now we plan to invite new police patrols. We do not expect to have huge number of people. We have 10 or 12 organizers, and we do not expect that there will be thousands of people. There probably will be not much. Dear colleagues, are there further questions. Okay, then I would like to remind you that at night between November 29 and November 30, this event will take place on Maidan Square. Our next briefing will be at